Welcome, 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 folks, to Waves on the Shore with Evan and Jaron, the census greatest podcast of all time. Thanks for joining us today as we discuss all the latest in country music.
We're not biased, we just don't like bad music.
Bang! Welcome back to Waves on the Shore, episode 48. Is it 48? Did I get that? Can you verify that while I continue introing? Because if I got that...
I think you're right, actually, but...
I
usually know, but we've been a little... Things have been stagnant, so it's not as fresh. It is 48. It is 48.
Oh, my gosh.
Because Megan Maroney was the last full episode. And so was Parker McCollum and Bailey Zimmerman and Ed Sheeran and all
That's
that
just...
stuff.
That's the intellect that you are witnessing with Jaron and I.
Right.
You are dealing with two of the most brilliant minds the modern world has seen. Yeah, we're back again. We're talking about more music because, believe it or not, they keep dropping it. The music keeps coming out.
People keep making it.
They keep doing the thing. They keep going in the studio and singing the songs and playing the guitars, and so we're gonna keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of new music. Some y'alternative, as the Country Central comments are seemingly like. Just making.
I don't hate. I don't hate
it.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
Y'all alternative.
I've seen so many comments about that in like the.
I wonder if Noah has heard that yet.
Surely, because he's reposted some Country Central stuff.
Well, and he's a little bit in that world. Like, I mean,
he follows the community.
For one thing, he. Just like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks, it was fairly recent. Him and Wesley Schultz released an acoustic cover of "If We Were Vampires" by Jason Isbell, and it's really good.
Foreshadowing for this episode. Both of those artists are. Anyways, do you know how I know he played that song several times. I think on that tour.
He did.
If I got to see. He didn't play it in Detroit, but if I got to see Noah Kahan sing "If We Were Vampires," that would have totally blindsided me too, because I didn't.
That would have been dope.
I didn't know he was an Isbell fan or whatever, and that would have been crazy.
That might be my favorite Jason Isbell song.
It's my favorite. I think it's a runaway, to be honest. Without discrediting the rest of his discography. I think it's a runaway.
It's just good. It's just hot.
It's like that.
It's really hot.
It's spicy hot.
Yeah.
You know what else is spicy hot?
Me. I'm really hot.
Yes. Do you know what's a little less spicy hot than you, but only because you're so hot it's not even fair to relate?
Is it Noah Kahan's newest album?
It is. It's
or
Noah
his
Kahan's
deluxe album.
Deluxe, which I actually. So let me set the scene.
I hate
Noah
deluxe
Kahan
albums.
On June 9th. Dropped Stick Season, We'll All Be Here Forever, in brackets. It is the deluxe. It adds technically 7 songs. Really, it's 6, and then an extended version of The View Between Villages, which I think is pretty dope. Came out on June 9th, and so here's the thing, right? We do a lot of time trashing deluxes. It's a common occurrence on this podcast.
True. That's true.
Because
I literally did it a minute ago. I said I hate deluxe albums.
Normally it sucks, right? Normally it's like no one asked for this. No one wanted this. It came way too soon. This is stupid. However, I absolutely love this. And dare I say I love that it's tacked on to Stick Season.
Okay, so I'm just going to
go for it.
This is good. Like, this is really good. I enjoy it's 6 tracks, right?
Yeah, 6 new ones.
6 new ones. It's just that I would still probably prefer if it was like an EP. Like, I just don't like adding things. Like, the album's been out for a while, and then you just add. I just don't like that entire concept. Like, I am just now. But as far as deluxe albums go, this is a sex. This is a successful deluxe album, I would say. There's not a lot of those for the most part.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it is a deluxe album. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that about it. But it's good. I enjoy it. But like to listen, I just wish that like I don't know, just release it as another EP. People will listen to it if you just. But maybe he wants to bump up the album's streaming numbers. I don't know. I hate.
That's probably what it is. Like, just to keep Stick Season relevant as he's doing his Stick Season tour. Not that he's trying to sell tickets, because
like
the tour is sold out. I didn't realize that. Like, bro, it is sold. There ain't no tickets left. But
we definitely talked about Deluxe's last episode because of the Ed Sheeran thing.
Yeah, how he drops one right away.
Well, and that is what really confuses me, because it's like,
stupid.
Why do you drop a Deluxe right away? Why wouldn't you wait like 8 months or a year or whatever? And if you're like, some people drop them like 2 years later. It's like, well, what's the point?
There's a sweet spot, right? Because some people drop it like 3 years later. Some people drop it like 3 days later. Ed Sheeran drops it when the original drops, which is like, well, how does that work? Here's where I stand and why I actually like it, because it's been out for like a good amount of time. Stick Season came out like 8 or 9 months ago now. It's been out for a minute. And I think the fact that this is the album that blew him up, like, sure, he had a following, but like, you know, he's gone from playing small theaters to massive amphitheaters. He could do arenas if he wants on the back of this album. Like, it is what brought him into the limelight. Yeah. So then to 8 months later go back and sort of revisit it and add on some bonus, like some things of the same vein, similar thing. It's like, hey, you guys loved this so much, this era so much, I loved it so much. And I like what he said. He's like, I wasn't done with it. He's like, I wanted to keep writing in this season. So he made some songs, and the fact that I think these are ridiculously good, like the Deluxe, the content is crazy good. I really don't hate it. Does it feel, when I listen all the way through, is it a little weird going from The View Between Villages into more songs? Yes, but you still get to end again on a new The View Between Villages. So I even though I normally hate Deluxe albums like 99% of the time, I just think this one makes sense, because it's not like, you know, a lot of artists.
This one feels better executed, I think.
Yeah, and it feels more valuable. It makes sense, because I feel like a lot of artists will drop an album that doesn't move their career anywhere. It's not saying it's bad, but it's just like, yeah, like another album, cool, and then they get a deluxe of it, and it's like, well, cool, I'll take more songs. I'm also definitely probably biased when it's a good deluxe, because when it's a good deluxe, I'm like, yeah, this was a great idea. If it's a bad deluxe, I'm like, this was stupid, and you never
deluxes are stupid.
This.
Never do this again. Stop.
Like, if Kane Brown drops a deluxe, or like Jimmy Allen drops a deluxe, I'm gonna be like, this was not necessary. Probably because the music just sucks in the way that I would call most of the album unnecessary. But like, maybe I'm crazy biased in this situation, but
we rag on Jimmy Allen so much.
I'm the one on the mic. What are you gonna do about it? Fight me? Yeah, we do distinct Jimmy Allen a lot, but
I'm sure he's a decent guy. You know,
I'm sure he's like, a decent
when he
guy.
When he has his shirt on. You know,
yeah, I'm sure he's a decent guy. I just,
do you have a favorite of the 6 deluxe tracks?
Yes. Do you?
It's really 7 tracks almost, just because the view between whatever. I would probably say Paul Revere, maybe. Just for like, that's what I'm feeling. I've listened to this 3 or 4 times now.
My
the new tracks. I think Paul Revere would be mine.
My 2 favorites, 1 and 2 in this order. That I like considerably more than the others, but I don't mean that as an insult to the others. I mean it as like a hype up to these songs. Number 1, You're Gonna Go Far. Number 2 would be Paul Revere. I think they're freaking. Paul Revere's dope, bro. It's so moody and dark.
I just think it's cool that he's Paul Revere. I just think it's cool that he took like a Paul Revere, who's during the American Revolution is just a dude who rode a horse and told people that the British were coming. And he's like,
is that who Paul Revere is? I had no clue who he was. I was like, sounds like a cool guy.
Well, it's just a guy from like U.S. history that you like I always associate Paul Revere with history class in like middle school and high school. So it's like cool that there's a cool song. It's cool
Or,
that there's like a
Alexander
cool song
McKenzie.
with Paul Revere. Yeah, we should just start. Me and you, we're gonna drop an album with just a bunch of like old politicians' names, or like we got one Ben Franklin. Like the album's titled Ben Franklin, and it's just like a Ben Franklin like bill, like money, and then. Or no, it'd be us. It'd be us with shades on, and we'd be on the bill, and then the title would be Ben Franklin. We got to make this happen.
I'm gonna make this album cover, and we'll look into making this album.
No, actually,
I will at least make the album cover.
Dude, actually make it, and we could post it. This will be funny.
And then if people like it, we will make the songs. What's another?
I'd be down to do it.
History person.
Kanye.
As crazy as that, I was thinking. That's the first thing that came into my head.
We'll just pick some. We'll just pick a couple.
Why can't I think of this guy's
Richard
name?
Nixon, Justin Trudeau, and we'll just
Bell. Who's the guy? No, that's telephone. Don't nobody care about Alexander Graham Bell.
Tough.
Who made the light?
Alexander Graham Bell.
Jefferson.
Tesla.
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh wait, no, you're right. It is Thomas Jefferson. Man, Americans did everything. Wild.
But they didn't make maple syrup. And they didn't make Shania
I do like
and they
maple
didn't make
syrup.
Drake.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care about Shania Twain. I'm gonna be honest. I can take it or leave it with Shania. I'm not gonna front you, chief.
That's disgraceful. You know what's hilarious? I can't remember if I said this in the last episode because I think it was around the time we recorded. So stop me if I said this. But we were at a youth conference and some of my buddies, I didn't know they were doing it or I would have joined in. There was like karaoke going on during the afternoon, like in between like sessions. Okay. And I am a firm hater of karaoke at public events. I think it's stupid. I think it's like, I swear every like big youth event feels the need to have like karaoke after the night officially ends. And it's like, no,
I don't think
you can go without it.
Maybe this is a Canadian thing, I feel like
maybe it is.
I feel like at our church events, like with like the big like conferences and stuff like that, I feel like I've never experienced that. I think something that sounds similar is like before the session is starting, there's like a song that's going on and people will do like the conga line or around the room, or they'll dance in groups. But I don't know. I've never experienced karaoke.
Do you ever have like a Christmas like banquet or anything and there's like karaoke going on?
Yo, Canadians
You're lucky.
Wild, bro.
You're lucky. It sucks, man. It sucks because you know what you hear? You're going to get a group of girls that goes up and just intentionally badly sings Let It Go, thinking it's really funny to
they're so quirky
voices.
and that's really funny and
they think it's so funny because we're missing the notes. No, you're just making me want to jump in front of a transport truck. And then you got people singing baby, baby, all the while you're trying to have a nice conversation.
Evan, tag all the girls in your youth group that have done this. Tag them all, right?
Dude, too many. I lose so much respect for people on a annual basis,
dude,
man.
But
it's awful. I hate karaoke. And
do any of your friends listen to the podcast like at all?
No.
That's disappointing.
But if they did, I would make them know. Like, well, no, because it's not like I've held this in. I say at the event, I'm like, this is stupid. This is stupid. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, sure.
Right.
I would probably do the same thing.
Going to Bible college, if all goes well, I'll be a youth pastor. I ain't hosting no karaoke. The moment if a youth student comes up to me and is like, can we have karaoke?
No, stop.
Jesus does not approve of karaoke. Okay? God does not like your Let It Go rendition. He doesn't. But it sucks. Anyways, right? There was also one girl who did like 7 songs. She was like, what? I was like, why do you keep coming back up?
Yes, Queen.
You're liking this too much.
Yes, Queen.
That's exactly what it must have been, right? She did like Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. Didn't even do the lean. What was the point? Anywho,
this low key reminds me of this reminds me of our talent show that we had at LCU, where like a couple of them, like a lot of them were actually pretty good, but then there'd be a couple where it's kind of like, okay, like you're trying to make it like this is just like this was not nothing was rehearsed. All you're doing is singing a song and you're doing it poorly, and this is just awkward for everyone, except for you. And it's just like, yeah, it's kind of what it reminds me of. That's
very much what it's like.
One particular, well, there were a lot of really good performances and skits and stuff. There was one where there was this couple and they did.
That's a bad start.
No, it was really good. Like, this is like a couple that, like, they're not a cringy couple. They're like a couple that, like, if you don't like them, it's because people don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, like, they're a power couple, I guess is.
Yeah, we like those. We like those.
Yes, and they did Breaking Free from High School Musical. But, like, how it started was, like, the guy wasn't even in the room. So, like, she started the song, and, like, nobody knew that, like, and he just, like, busted out, and they were, like, lip syncing, and they were, like, it was actually, like, really good. And
that's good.
Yeah, it was a big duet thing, and it was like, okay, that was thought out. It's charismatic. It was a fun time. Claps and
it's not just
and laughs
hey,
all
girls,
around.
Let's go sing Frozen, Let It Go. No, don't.
No.
However, some of
Shout out to Jackson, by the way. My boy Jackson.
4 of the boys in our group, 4 of my buddies, they registered for the karaoke, which had I not seen what they were going to do, I would have disowned them as friends. I would have been like, no. However, they did Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and it was so funny. It was the only karaoke performance that people actually got behind, and people started, like, turning from what they were doing to watch this, and not because it was good, but they also weren't trying to be bad thinking it was funny. They were just legitimately up there singing Man, I Feel Like a Woman for gym bros. Like, these guys are bigger. They're very much into the whole gym thing. They wear shirts that are too small and stuff. And they're up there, and my buddy Joey, he's even singing, like, the guitar part. He's up there, he's like, da, 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 da. And then it's like the Man, I Feel Like a Woman part. It was so funny. Every time the Man, I Feel Like a Woman came, sorry listeners, you just have to, like, imagine these beautiful feminine movements. He would just be like, Man, I feel like a woman.
Evan, are you wearing a dress?
No, I'm wearing my $60 Zach Bryan shirt that I should have got a medium in. It's too big.
It's okay. You look cute in it.
Jaron says I look like a girl he could date.
That's
agree.
not... Well, I did say that, but that was a joke.
Did say that.
I did say... It was a joke.
But anywho, very roundabout way of saying that don't diss Shania. That's just L behavior.
Look, Shania's not even... Never mind. I'm not...
Were you about to diss...
I was... Okay, you know what I'll say? I was about to say... Shania's not even hot anymore.
See, anymore. Okay, fine.
I'm just being
dude.
facetious.
I can remember.
Big word.
My mom had, like, the Woman in Me, deluxe or whatever, like or maybe it's just, I don't know. She had the Woman in Me, the 1995
I can't really name
album.
a song besides Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Whose bed have your boots been under? Any man of mine. Any man of like.
I'm not a Shania boy. I grew up on Josh Turner. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up on culture. I grew up on.
I grew up on culture. I actually grew up on Reliant K, Switchfoot, and James Taylor. That's what I grew up on.
I grew up on Billy Joel, Elton John, and Zach Brown. That's what I grew up on. Wow. And Brooks and Dunn. I'd throw Brooks and Dunn in there.
I kind of just found my own way to country music. My family was never like, we love country music. Like, nobody in my family was.
Like, my family spent a lot of time out in Alberta, which, in Calgary specifically, which is, like, the Nashville of Canada. Okay. So, like, it took, they acclimated to their surroundings. Now my dad's, like, a beach dad. But before, he was very much like, yep, he's going to bust the cowboy hat out. Yep, he's going to wear cowboy boots around.
He was honking and tonking?
He was honking and tonking.
He was honking the tonk? Sorry, I've met your dad once, outrageous. And so I was kind of I was imagining him in, like, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I don't know your dad that well, but
He pulled it off back in the day.
but I'm sure. I'm not saying he couldn't back. I can't talk. I'm not saying he couldn't pull it off. He just doesn't seem like a honkin' tonk fella. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because like that's like he literally grew up with like farms and then
Sure.
he moved out west and everything. It's just now like 20 years removed from that, he's just fully taken on the beach dad.
Yeah, different
Just
times,
like
different
the
shades of life.
Birks, the beach hat.
He wears
the
Birkenstocks.
shades. Oh yeah, it's like all he wears.
I'm not a Birkenstock guy. I'm not.
Okay,
I see people. I see
You're
people with.
embarrassing yourself, and we've hardly even talked about any music.
Okay,
You just
no.
You just
I'm
made
gonna
a fool of yourself for the last 20 minutes.
Let me explain, okay? And then we'll actually talk about music. I think a big reason why I've never been huge on Birkenstocks was, first off, the first people that I ever saw wear Birkenstocks were girls that I wanted to throat punch. Second off, the next people that I saw wear Birkenstocks were people that I didn't agree with in terms of lifestyle choice. You could say that they liked men. Men that liked men. So, I associate Birkenstocks with just things that I'm not keen on. Like liking men. So...
That's odd because does everyone wear Birkenstocks?
I think nowadays.
Or is it not a big thing?
It's a pretty big thing. It started out like I think like it's gotten to be a much bigger thing over the past like 5 years. But like 5 years ago,
everyone just wears Birks, man.
But like 5 years ago, not everybody was. But
Our
like
pastor
I know
wears Birks.
I know people that are like really awesome people. Like there's a guy that he was intern at our church. He wore Birkenstocks. Really chill guy. It's
so
just
Birks don't mean Jaron's gonna hate you.
I just
It's just
don't,
not a good first impression.
Yeah, you got to make a good impression, you know. But Evan, like you and your dad, you guys made a good impression, you know. Your dad's probably not gay, right?
I'd hope not. At this point in time.
It'd just be a little awkward, you know. Yeah,
that'd be a strange one. We're back. Again. Welcome to episode 49. No.
Evan's internet pooped itself, and that's
As
one of
you-
the many
as you
problems
heard.
that Evan tends to have with his technology. Literally every single time we try to record, usually it's his.
It's sparse up in the north, man.
Sometimes it's the mic, sometimes it's the camera. It seems like.
Now it's just the whole internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're back. We're back. We're going to use this to move on from Noah Kahan because we evidently cannot stay on track to save our lives. So,
it's good. Listen to it.
We're switching topics. Justin Moore dropped his brand new album, Stray Dogs, recently. We have both given it a listen.
Singular, one stray dog.
I've given one Stray Dog as well. However,
I give this album one stray dog. One stray dog at one.
out
Stray
of
dog.
how many Stray Dogs? How many Stray Dogs could
3.
there be? Oh.
Like,
I would personally give this like 64 Stray Dogs out of 103.
Okay. A nice round number. 103.
Here's the thing with Justin Moore, right? So all of his music to me is very, very copy paste. Like in the same way people called like Drake AI music. I think you could make an AI Justin Moore and it would make pretty similar music. However, I like the Justin Moore thing. I like the Justin Moore I like what he does. So even though I just continually get like every time it's just more of the same good thing, I'm like,
Sure,
I
yeah.
still
will say,
like
yes.
this thing.
I would agree that this album is not bad. And honestly, I might need to listen to it a little bit more because I think that there's probably a couple songs that I would like a lot. But the reason I'm a little bit lower on this album than his last two had kind of made me Justin Moore. Maybe I shouldn't say fan, but I was like, I really liked We Didn't Have Much a lot off of his last album. And She Ain't Mine No More was also really good off of his last album.
That's a banger, man. That's a banger.
And I have so far not felt that way about any of these songs. And same with Late Nights and Long Necks. I think Late Nights and Long Necks is actually a very underrated country album.
Agreed.
Like, so
There's
this
some
one,
great deep cuts on there.
so in the context of the two albums that came before this one's just a little underwhelming for me. I enjoyed it.
It's definitely relatively, it's definitely the disappointing sibling.
It does have a better album cover than the last one, though. It has that going for it.
Yes, it does.
I will say, though, Justin
but I still
Moore,
just like what's being offered.
Well, Justin Moore has had
I
decent...
should preface that for the most part. Because there's a few songs on here I'm like, and the problem is when your album's only 8 songs and you have a few songs that are, it makes the whole, that adds quite a bit of, to the album. So, do you... Don't mind my rating system.
I'll say two stray dogs out of 4 stray dogs. I'm gonna revise my rating.
That's more where
it's about like a 50%.
Because I do think he bats like 50% on this album.
Like if this was Letterboxd, like this is the best album ever.
Right,
like
with our rating system, this is the greatest thing to ever exist.
Yeah. This is the best album ever.
I think the album's strongest stretch is 2, 3, 4. I think That Wasn't Jack, With a Woman You Love, and Better Slow are all 3 like really good songs. I really like a lot of them. With a Woman You Love just sounds great, but I like the wording on That Wasn't Jack, even if it's nothing crazy new. Mm-hmm. It's like he says all these stupid things. Like when he's drunk, he says this and that and all these things that you have to sort of like write off and remember he was drunk, so he didn't mean that. But at the end, he's like, but when I was saying that, like, I love you and I want to get back with you and all these things, as hard as it may be to believe me, that was me. That was all me. That wasn't Jack. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like that twist. That was clever to me.
Yeah.
So I think that 2, 3, 4 stretch is as good as it gets, and like on this album. But also, I just think those are 3 really good songs. And the album on a whole is, it's okay. Like it's okay. It's good. I think the Riley Green collab is like, I do not know where to sit on that.
I have fun with it. Like I don't.
It's a fun one. Even if it's kind of stupid.
I think it's better than I would say for most of this album, the album is having a mid-off.
It's better than the other collab on this album.
like, you don't like the Priscilla Block one?
No, I'm not a fan.
I'm not gonna act like I have a strong opinion on it, but I do agree that With a Woman.
I'm not gonna act like I care.
Yeah, because I don't actually care about Priscilla Block, but I remember enjoying the Priscilla Block duet.
I thought it was just overdone, like a lot of Priscilla.
It is a little. I think its production's a little. It feels like something. It feels like a Dustin Lynch song, actually.
Yeah.
What's that one song that he had recently that was kind of big? You know what I'm talking about?
Party Mode?
No, I like Party Mode. I like that.
That's why I was confused, because I was like, I like that song.
No, he has one.
What's his other hit?
He has one that's a duet, and I think you've seen it live. What's...
with Porter, right?
Oh, Mackenzie Porter. That's her name.
Mackenzie Porter, Thinking About You?
Yeah. Why do I know her name? I know her name because of Dustin Lynch. Also, Thinking About You is currently his most popular song right now on Spotify. It doesn't have his most streams, but it's like the most streamed
currently,
if that makes sense. That song's okay. Anyway, actually, now that I'm on that, I just want to really quickly, again, acknowledge that Dustin Lynch's last album was actually...
I was thinking of doing the same thing.
Not
I was
complete
looking
trash.
at it now, and I was like, little shout out if you've never heard his album from last year. It was pretty good.
Well, I love Pasadena. I love Tennessee Trouble.
Pasadena's so good, man.
I like Something That Makes You Smile. I like
and even
Party Mode.
Bro made the stupidest pop country banger, but it just goes nuts.
There's something about Party Mode.
It just works.
Every time I hear it, there's something inside of me. I do the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3. I do the hip. You can't see it because I don't have a lot of space. The hip thrusts and the handshakes. Just a little throw some claps in there. You know what I'm saying?
Just get all the white out of you.
Have you seen that scene from Spider-Man 3? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
He's
actually
all
have,
emo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Justin Moore, kind of all right. A little hit or miss, but
we
we still love him.
I was hoping for. Usually, there's. I don't know. I don't think I might.
I just think on an album with 8 songs, you can't afford to miss, and he does on a few occasions. So it's like.
Yeah, but I don't think any of them are egregious
takes up more
either.
real estate.
You know?
No, none of them are egregious. But
just a little disappointing, I think.
No, it's also not egregious.
Weather Vanes by Jason Isbell in the 400 unit.
That is exactly what I was gonna say. Weather Vanes.
Wow, that's wild. That's crazy. That's insane.
Are you prepared to talk about this album?
I think so.
Oh my gosh! Take away the reins. What a coincidence.
This is a good album. And I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be fully transparent. The last album that they released, like 3 years ago, I think I started to listen to it, and I was kind of like, this is kind of boring. And then I proceeded to not finish listening to their last album. I don't know.
Which one was that? Georgia Blue or Reunions?
Reunions. Wasn't Reunions their last one?
They had Georgia Blue.
Wait, what?
2021. But that's like a weird that's like a big collab thing. So I think technically like it shows up on their Apple thing, but I think
I wasn't okay. Now that you mention it, I remember this. I didn't even listen to Georgia Blue. That didn't happen. I tried listening to Reunions, and maybe I should revisit it, but the only song that I know from Reunions is Dreamsicle. I know nothing else. So, that being said, this newest album...
Crazy good album cover. Crazy good album.
No, they always...
They always do.
They've never had a bad one, I don't think.
I like all of them. Nashville Sound and Weather Vanes are 2 incredible covers.
I actually really like their 2009 one.
I don't. Politely.
Really? I like it's like a tree and the colors. I like it. It gives me 2000s vibes.
That's fair, but that doesn't mean it's good vibes.
I would argue that it is, and you can suck my big fat right toe.
Did you know I don't really have toenails anymore?
Wow. What a
soccer has ruined my toes. They have been stamped on so many times.
That's kind of gross.
Just like, I know, they're just like, you know what, man?
Feet are gross, bro. Stop.
We're kind of gonna grow back, but not really. So now I just kind of have like nubs. I don't have to trim my big toenail.
Whoever is the God bless the woman that ends up marrying you, because
because she gave her to me.
Hide.
Obviously, she's blessed.
Hide the feet from her, or she will divorce you.
The socks will stay on.
Always.
Well, no, seriously, right? Shocking. Like it's not ugly at all.
Oh, really?
It's actually not. Like it's just like the nail is like there, but it's stopped growing. If anything,
like you don't have to trim your nails.
No. If anything, I'd argue like
you literally just killed your toenails. They're dead.
Yeah, I'd argue it's more visually appealing because it ain't like growing out with all the white on the end.
Me and the boys arguing the visual appeal of our toenails. Actually, on the contrary, I would.
I think mine are better because they don't collect like grime under it or anything because they're just like
fair enough. So I'm not gonna show my feet. That's gross, and we'll move on from this shortly.
I do a toenail review?
This is an interesting foot segment, but like my toenails are like actually proportionally kind of small, like for my on my toe. Like they're kind of like small and sunken in a little bit. It's hard to describe. I'm not showing my feet on camera. That's not happening. But Jason Isbell's Weather Vanes.
Yeah, my right one's actually coming back, but I think the left is still just a nub.
Weather Vanes is good. I need to listen to it more and more, but I think the opener I really like the opener. I like how it's kind of in your face. I love Strawberry Woman.
Thank you. I was gonna say that was my favorite one. I've only given this one proper listen, and then I've kind of like bounced around while I'm like driving or whatever. but the one that is stuck with me so far is the third song, Strawberry Woman. I love that song.
Cast Iron Skillet's also good. I did hear.
Yeah,
I think
that's true,
I
actually.
think Cast Iron Skillet was released as a single. So I heard. I did listen to that. Because I think it autoplayed. I didn't like go out of my way to hear it. It autoplayed, and I was like, oh, this is good. You want to know? I've heard some really good music autoplay from this album. Actually. Because Coulter Wall's newest single has been autoplaying, like, every time I finish this album, the first song that autoplays, it's Coulter Wall's, what?
Can we real quick, like, finish that thought?
Well, the first song that plays is Coulter Wall's newest song. I can't think of the name right now, so I'm looking it up as I
Corralling
talk.
the Blues?
That's it. I've been really enjoying it sonically. And then the other song is a new song by Larry Fleet, which is, like, really good. It's called Layaway, and I really like it, like, a lot.
Okay. All right.
So I would just recommend that.
I would recommend the new Coulter too, bro. I am so hyped for this album. Like, it's crazy to think, but like Coulter's album dropped like it was like the second video on my channel is a review of his last album. Like, it's kind of been a hot minute since he's dropped new stuff.
You have a good point.
And I'm really like, I mean, it's been like 3 years since an album. And I am really liking the two pre-releases so far, Evangelina and Corralling the Blues.
I haven't heard the other one.
I'm just so ready for that album, man. Just bring it on. When is it, like July, I think? Yeah, July 14th.
How is Evangelina? Like, how?
I love it.
So just based off of the title, it just reminds me of Evangeline, which is like one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard off of Randy Houser's Magnolia. Is it the same kind of vibe? Just wondering. Probably not.
No. It's like a classic, like, Coulter Wall kind of swingy little love song. He's like, "Oh, Evangelina, how I love you so."
I do love Fraulein. That's one of my favorite Coulter Wall songs. I don't know if that's is Fraulein a deep cut? No, it's not. It's not. It's the third most popular song that he has. It's not a deep cut. I lied.
Jaron thought he was cool.
I thought I was cool.
Thought he was underground.
Motorcycle's cool. That's not a deep cut either. No, I'm excited for a Coulter Wall album. Yeah, I would agree. I remember when I first actually went into his stuff was 2020. Or it was going into 2020, I think, because I remember listening to it.
I found him in like 2019. I forget why. But I remember finding him around 2019.
I think I did too. I think it was similar. And I will say, I remember hearing his third album, Songs of the Plains. Not that it's bad. Kind of nothing to write home about.
Honestly,
I don't know if that's a hot take, but yeah.
No, I kind of agree. Of all of his albums, it might be the last one I take.
Yeah, it would be the last one I take. I think the first one that I take is, honestly, look, Caroline. That's the other one I'm thinking of. I freaking love Caroline. Makes me want to cry like a little baby. I love how beautiful it is.
All right, what Coulter album are you taking?
I honestly would probably do Imaginary Appalachia.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing too, man.
It's either that or it's the it might be his self-titled, because I do enjoy that one.
No, I have to take Imagine It, but it is just like 7 incredible songs. Like No Fat, Nothing, which is actually the name of one of the songs on there. But like, I'm sorry, when you start with Sleeping on the Blacktop and then end with The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie, that's crispy. That's crispy.
Sleeping on the Blacktop, Johnny Boy's Bones, Caroline, and The Devil Wears a Suit and Tie are like so good.
Ridiculously.
But they're all good, you know.
Sleeping on the Blacktop's Hear me. That's a great hype up song. And I never thought about it. I never thought about using it as a hype song until I think, was it the Oilers? I think it might have been. I mean, if it was a good choice, it was probably by my Edmonton Oilers. I'm pretty sure they used Sleeping on the Blacktop in like a hype up video or something, or like a little highlight reel before one of the games, and I was like, dang, this song really freaking, like, the stomp and the clap while McDavid's just dancing around people.
Yeah, that actually that would get you going. My experience with his first album, and specifically Sleeping on the Blacktop in particular, that's the big one, is I have had people that say that they don't really like country music very much. They'll be like, have you heard of this Coulter Wall guy? This song Sleeping on the Blacktop's really good. You should listen to it. I think you'd like it. And I'll be like, bro, I heard it.
Bro, you think I ain't on that already? Who do you think I am?
Yeah, I've had a few buddies. I've had a few buddies do that, and I'm like, Coulter Wall's good. He makes a good music. I'm not gonna disagree with you.
What do you want me to say, man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He makes a good music.
He makes the good thing. Yeah. Man, we are really good at getting off topic because we were talking about the
We haven't said anything about it, basically.
Look, here's my thing, right? It's good. There's a level to a Jason Isbell. I almost said Jason Aldean. That is absolutely not the same thing. There is a level to Jason Isbell albums. There's just a standard that he consistently meets, and with the 400 unit, their country rock sound is just very solid. And when Jason Isbell's writing all your songs, they're just going to be really good. So, like, when I listen through and I finish, I'm like, yeah, that is just another really solid album.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs I like. I liked This Ain't It, which also seems to be one of the popular ones. The one that stuck with me is Strawberry Woman. I also really like the one right before that, King of Oklahoma. That's just I like the way that song builds.
I like King of Oklahoma a lot, too.
I like that one. Is there anything that, like, is there anything as good as If We Were Vampires? No.
Yeah.
But also, is there anything, like,
nothing butters my
good?
biscuit
No.
to that degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the biscuit is still it's still buttery.
It's fairly mighty tasty, I think. It is. On my first listen, I actually listened to this while I was running, and my first impression was like, this is just a really good sounding album. But like they usually are with Jason.
That's the thing. One of my things is I think across their albums sometimes songs can start to run together. I do think sometimes they can start sounding kind of similar, which I think is maybe, if I had to criticize it, I think at some points I definitely feel like if you made a transition between some of the songs, I wouldn't even notice the song changed. However, that doesn't mean the music's bad. It just means it doesn't really switch up that much. But it's still really good.
I was wondering, I don't know if we've ever really talked about it before. What is your... Like, we have both already stated that our favorite Jason Isbell song is If We Were Vampires. I freaking love that song. What are your feelings on Cover Me Up? Because I'm sure there will be some people that'll be like, Cover Me Up's the best one.
Look, it's definitely up there for me. Like, I do think that's a great song.
I do too.
I also think, again, all y'all Isbell stands come at me. Like,
I know what he's gonna say.
I got iron fists here. Yeah. I think Morgan does it better.
He's got iron fists and nasty toes.
Yes, sir. I just like that is that song in itself is incredible, and so like with Cover Me Up, it's like anyone can sing that, and it's gonna be really freaking good.
Wow.
And the Jason Isbell,
Rodney Atkins can't.
Okay, fair. Look, like
there's a couple people that can't actually.
The melody, the lyrics, the guitar part, that song. It's the core of that song is so good. It doesn't necessarily matter who's singing it. However, Morgan sang it, and when I want Cover Me Up, I'm gonna go to the Morgan version.
And I would agree.
I think If We Were Vampires is his best song. If you made me choose Morgan's version of Cover Me Up, If We Were Vampires, I won't even flinch. I'm taking If We Were Vampires.
I would too.
Which is also his biggest song on Apple. I didn't realize.
I actually think that Morgan's version of Cover Me Up is one of my most listened to songs. Because when I first discovered Cover Me Up, I think I had heard Isbell's version first, but I wasn't super biased towards Isbell.
Morgan's is what blew it up.
But well, I heard his live version on the Taste of Country video that came out like a year and a half before the actual
where that girl's talking about his forearm hair.
Yeah. We've talked about this before. And I heard that and I was like, this is good. And then when he released the produced version, I was like, this is just look, there's not a ton that as an artist Morgan does genuinely better than Isbell, because I think Isbell as a songwriter is just really good.
There's few like him.
They have differences, and they're drastic. But Morgan just does that song better. I don't think that's a hot take. There are people that will say that we're not real country fans, and they'll call us mean words. And
I think it more matters on what one you found first. Like if you've been listening to the original Cover Me Up for what, like it was 2013 or something. So for like the 9 years or something, that is not math. For the 6 years before the Morgan version came out, like if you've been listening to that and you've been a big fan of Isbell, right? And so that song, like that version, is gonna hold a special place in your heart. However, if you go into it on not knowing either, I think 99% of people are gonna take Morgan's version.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a dig to Isbell. He just got one-upped. But at the end, even he said, like, while Cover Me Up was blowing up, he's like, no, this is good. Like, the song itself has never been more popular and relevant with more people hearing it and its message. Like, this is a good thing. But, yeah.
And then Morgan Wallen said the N-word.
Oh, he's a racist, guys. He hates them all. Yep. Kick him out.
I have to acknowledge this. Lil Durk was like, who wants me and Morgan to drop a whole album together? And I'm not even gonna lie, I was like, I kind of want to see it happen. Like, I don't think it'll be great.
I don't think it'll be good. I don't think it'll be good. But my gosh, if we live in a world where we get a whole collab album between Lil Durk and Morgan Wallen, I kind of want to see it happen.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think that would be awesome. And I'm not, look, I don't know how you feel. It's kind of a party mode situation with me, but I'll admit it. Every now and then, I'm feeling some type of way, and I say I'm gonna put on Broadway Girls. I'm gonna put on Broadway. And I don't remember the name of the song that was on the Lil Durk album that came out a few weeks ago, but I kind of enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
Here's my one request, okay? If this comes to be, right, I feel like the collaboration is you're gonna get like a Lil Durk song with a Morgan Wallen hook. You're gonna get like,
every time,
song. Maybe it has
every
time
time
and stuff.
And I want it. However, I want that pure in my veins.
If this collab album comes to be, there needs to be at least one song that is so Morgan's lane of country. Like, I'm talking in Everything I Love.
And Lil Durk is singing the chorus.
Or he just starts spitting over it, man. Like, you got like, wish I would have known it by now. And you got the bass flopping and stuff, and then Lil Durk just takes off.
Yeah.
That's what look, if they
kind of want this to happen.
Album, Morgan always steps into Lil Durk's world. We need it to go the other way.
Yeah.
Look, no more of like.
Wait, what about?
Because Morgan's always like dapping up Lil Durk in the videos and stuff. Now we need to get Lil Durk in the videos doing the Morgan like whatever you would call them, mannerisms and stuff. Yeah.
And that was pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie. I did that pretty well. For you listeners, I just did a Morgan Wallen thing. I don't really know how to describe what I did.
And then when they finish the song, they stand like this. Like they do the Morgan stance.
He's got his stance, the Morgan Wallen stance. Oh, that's great.
Get the teeth out, and you're just like,
what? Okay, real quick, we'll get back to Isbell and we'll wrap that up. But like,
yeah, we'll probably just be wrapping up.
What if it was 5 tracks of like Lil Durk's side, his realm, And then like it's kind of like like Kaleo A and B, right? So A is the more rocky side, B is the softer side. So A is like is Lil Durk's wheelhouse, and then B would be Morgan's wheelhouse. And I actually think
it needs to happen.
I'm not saying that it's going to be perfect or amazing.
It might be a joke, but I just need it. It might be a joke, but I just need it.
I want it to exist. Yeah.
I love the album cover on that too, man.
Real quick. Middle of the Morning. Okay, I'm going to say this about that. We'll get back on Jason Isbell. I think that the first 4 songs are quite off the top of my head. It's my favorite run of the album. I like how Middle of the Morning sounds. Strawberry Woman is probably my favorite song. King of Oklahoma is cool. And Death Wish is dope. Save the World is cool in the sense that it has a lot of layers to it, I think. And it's a very Jason Isbell song in the sense that it maybe touches on some political things a little bit, and some people won't like it. And
Jason likes weeding that in.
I am a person that I will enjoy a song even if, like, I'm not saying anything about anything. I'm just saying that stuff doesn't bother me. It will bother some people. If that is you, then maybe you know and maybe you know this.
Maybe you skip that song.
Yeah. But I kind of like that it's here. I don't know. It's Jason Isbell. That's just how he is. He's vocal about things. And then Cast Iron Skillet is the other big standout. Probably my second.
We feel very similarly.
Yeah. I need to like I said, maybe I should
have the best taste.
Yes. Maybe I should start like at the second half of the album, because I feel like maybe I haven't given this.
I was gonna bring this up. I think I am biased towards the front half of the album because, like I was saying, the songs to me sort of run together. So by the time I get to the back half of the album, I'm already kind of like, all right,
checked out a little bit.
Or heard it. Checked out a little bit. So maybe I need to start halfway through. But from what I have heard with my listening habits, it is Strawberry Woman, it is King of Oklahoma, and it is Cast Iron Skillet. Mm-hmm. So
I think Middle of the Morning is my number 3. And then Oklahoma would be an honorary mention. Ooh, excuse me. I was cooking that one up.
Jaron, I got a question, man.
I just don't think I'm in a good place right now to be asked questions, man. I'm just going through a lot. And
it's fantastic because I don't care. I'm going to ask it anyways. What, sir, are you listening to?
I am listening to a fire soundtrack of a film that I saw in theaters twice. And some of the cultured listeners of the pod will probably already know what I'm talking about. And this is a little... Yes. This is a little out of my wheelhouse in terms of...
That's the only big movie I know.
It is Spider-Verse.
Because that's the Metro album, right? I've heard a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah, it is. I don't even know who Metro is. I just don't. I don't.
Like, I know you're not in rap, but, like, you don't know who Metro Boomin is?
Never heard of him in my entire life.
That's nutty. Never heard of him.
I think he's maybe on the first album from the first movie, but I don't remember. It's like, I don't care.
Dude, I don't know what... Like,
okay, but, just let me talk. Let me do this.
Like, hold on.
Okay.
But you got, like, his... Not All Heroes Wear Capes is really good.
Okay, send it to me.
His Heroes and Villains.
If you just tell it to me, I'm not going to listen to it. Send it to me or something.
Everything Metro Boomin is involved with seems to just kind of go crazy. And
yeah, that is one thing I noticed.
With The Weeknd.
I think that's what I noticed because I was just curious. I just clicked on it. I was like, who is this guy? Because I still don't really... Like, is he a producer? Like, what does he do?
He's a producer.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't...
like a DJ Khaled situation?
Yeah, but
I will
makes
say
good music.
I will say I like it when he goes Metro, and I'm like, yeah, Metro, yeah, whatever that means. Oh yeah, but bro, freaking, hold on. What is this? Did he release adult? Why are there's a version of the Spider-Verse album that I've never seen before. Anyway. Metro Boomin presents Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack is mostly straight fire. Annihilate is dope. Am I Dreaming? Certified banger, bro. It is so good.
I
I
haven't
love
listened
Am I
to the
Dreaming.
soundtrack.
Just it takes sound bites and out of like the movies, so there's maybe some things that you might be like, that's kind of weird, but
he
it's
does
so
that
good.
a lot. Actually, it's in his Heroes and Villains album frequently samples different hero movies and stuff, and so it makes it really like ice cold to listen to.
Okay.
He does that a lot. I am not a huge rap guy, but I love that show.
So
Yeah, I'll shut up.
no, it's okay. Am I Dreaming it plays during the credits of the movie after you just witnessed the cliffhanger that is this movie, and you have, I don't even know how to explain it. Every time I hear the song, it gives me that feeling again, and I'm definitely associating it with the movie, but I think outside of it, if you listen to it without the movie, it's still a banger. So if you're only listening to one of these, listen to Am I Dreaming? It is so good. I love everything about it. Calling is really good, which is the 6th track. I don't know what else to say about that one. It's the one that was like, I think it was in some trailers. There was a music video that released before the movie came out, and it was kind of themed around Gwen and Miles and their kind of maybe romantic relationship. It's such a vibe, bro. I actually would recommend watching the music video for that song, not just listening to the song, because it kind of is like, okay, this is the vibe. It kind of sets
I like
the mood. The song Self Love, really like it. Like, I like it a lot. I'm pretty sure that's the song in the movie where Gwen is at the beginning and she's real moody and she's like, I don't want friends, and she's like throwing drums and stuff. And then Giving Up is good. There's one that I like, Link Up. It's maybe not the most popular one, but it's got a funk to it. It's really simple, but I like it.
It's got Don Toliver on it.
Yeah,
so that's a good start.
It's fun. I like Link Up. And then I feel like there's one more that maybe. Oh, Silk and Cologne's fun. It's a little. I don't know who 8 and Offset are.
You don't know who Offset is?
Dude, I don't stop.
That's one of the Migos.
I don't. Okay, we've talked about the Migos once on this podcast. I don't remember a single thing about them. I don't know anything about them. I'm not gonna pretend to know about them. You know that. Look, my rap world is.
No, I know, and I'm no expert of rap by any means at all.
That's true.
But I know who Metro Boomin is, and I know who Offset is.
You know more than I do, because rap is like
fair.
rap.
Well, because my friends listen to a lot of rap. That's why.
Honestly, my friends don't. Like, all my best friends don't do that. A lot of my friends actually listen to like metal and rock, so I know a little bit more about that stuff.
Yeah, I have no clue of any names you bring up there. So.
No, but like, I feel like what was I saying? There's one more. Oh, Hummingbird with James Blake. I liked that one.
Yeah.
But I would say go watch the movie if you haven't, and if you haven't seen the first one, watch the first one, listen to that soundtrack, and then watch the second one, and then listen to that soundtrack. Because, bro, these movies are straight fire, and honestly, I'm tempted to postpone Rocky 2 and make you watch one of them.
Maybe.
It's just really, I think you would like them. Like, actually, I think you would really dig that. I mean, you know Sunflower, Post Malone, right? You know that song.
Yeah.
I mean, that's from the first movie.
I know that much.
Yeah. I think you would like the first movie. I think it would be interesting, since you like don't really have any, like, you have no stakes in it, in the sense that like you're not like a big Spider-Man guy. You're really not a movie guy in the first place either. But that could be interesting. I'll get off that. But this is a really good soundtrack. I really, really like Am I Dreaming? I can't get over that song. There's a good chance it might be my most listened to song of the year. I've listened to it a lot over the past. When I go on runs, it's like the first song I queue up, and then I might even queue it up a second time, like like immediately.
Run it back.
It's a vibe, man. I
really have to listen to this now.
I hate running those songs. I hate running songs into the ground, but sometimes I just have to.
No, I feel that, bro. Sometimes you got to.
Yeah. What are
Well,
you listening to, Evan? Huh? My cute,
I am
my
listening
cute
to-
dateable boy. What are you listening to?
I'm listening to two things. First, the Noah Kahan Deluxe got me listening back to some of his other stuff, and
Maine, shout out to Maine.
yeah, shout out to Maine, and that's actually the EP
I figured. I'm a
I'm
mind reader.
bringing. 1 second.
This freaking I'm listening to the Spider-Verse album right now. Dude. Freaking
It goes crazy, and then so the Cape Elizabeth EP, Trouble Mind, Close Behind, Glue Myself Shut is the one everyone loves. It's a jam. Anyway is, oh my gosh, if you have not listened to Anyway, that guitar, it's one of the prettiest Noah Kahan songs ever, and it's like 5 minutes long. So I want to bring that EP. However, what I was originally going to bring is a new album that I found from 2018. It is like an alternative indie rock album by an artist named Snail Mail called Lush, which this was just like recommended to me randomly. I had no, like, in like the Apple radio thing. The song Heat Wave was recommended to me, and holy frick, I checked out the album. It's 10 songs, 38 minutes. It's kind of like a perfect album. Like, it is just insanely solid, like, alternative rock music. It just turned 5 years old a couple days ago. Pristine is pristine. Like, Speaking Terms and Heatwave, those are the two big ones, and holy crap, they slap. Let's Find an Out is this really pretty slowdown moment that kind of catches you off guard. It just, the whole album kind of hits. Like, it never lulls, and I don't think it drags, and even though the sound is very similar across the board, it doesn't come as a detriment. I was just kind of caught off guard. I was like, holy crap, this is kind of like a perfect album that I just stumbled across. And the album cover is really dope. That's not going to show up at all, but it's just this.
It's kind of showing up.
The reds and blues are really cool and stand out a lot. Now, so that's what I'm listening to. But Jaron, I have another question. Are you able to guess who the frick I'm talking about?
I mean, I guess, you know what I'm saying? If it has anything to do with the Migos or like Metro Boomin or
Then you'll know.
any of that stuff, I won't know. Real quick, as far as like, I just want to clarify on the rap. Like, I went through a 1 year rap phase, and it wasn't like massive. It was like, I heard, and I still believe this, G-Eazy's like first like 3 albums, I liked them for the most part.
Bro,
There are misses.
you're showing the lack of melatonin right now.
What? There are good. Do you not like anything he does? Like at all?
I'm not a big G-Eazy guy. I don't
Well,
know.
he just has some song. Have you heard any of his early stuff?
Not a whole lot.
Because a lot of people hopped on the G-Eazy train when he got really big, when Me, Myself, and I came out. And I was there before that happened. I was. And he had, I think, like an EP and then like 2 albums. And then his 3rd album came out and Me, Myself, and I was on that album. That's a decent album, but those first two albums and the EP, most of that stuff is pretty solid. He has a song called Downtown Love. I remember I had like studio beats, and I would just like bass boosted, just like I'd be like, it would send me to another planet. Anyway, who the frick am I guessing, Evan?
You're gonna have to guess it frickin' fast. You wanna know why?
Do you have to poop or something?
My dad just texted me. He's going to Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen closes at 10, so if I want to go, I need to be out in the next like 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes. So,
10's not for another 45 minutes. How far away is Dairy Queen?
like 20 minutes.
You got time.
We got like 5 minutes. So I'm just saying, can you guess it
tell your
fast?
dad to chill out. Okay, let's go.
All right. So who the frick? First clue. This artist is from Sharon, Kansas.
Jake
Anyone
Owen.
from Kansas?
Jake Owen. I don't know.
No.
Oh wait.
No.
They're not from. I don't know who's from Kansas. Blake Shelton.
I think you just guessed Jake Owen. It's not Blake Shelton either. I'll let you have 2 guesses on that.
Oh, okay. I did guess
Okay.
Jake Owen. That was a legitimate guess because I do not know who is from Kansas, man.
So this, yeah. Honestly, I until I saw this, I was like, I couldn't name anyone from Kansas. This artist, after dropping out of college, was in a rock band. And it was while they were a part of this rock band for a little bit. I'll even give you the name. The rock band was called the Penetrators. And
That was my nickname in high school.
During studio time, this artist found their spouse, who was at the time an employee at the studio. So, played in a rock band.
An employee at the studio.
Became their spouse.
Where's Chris Stapleton from? His wife worked at a studio, I'm pretty sure. I might not be on the right, but I don't know where Chris Stapleton's from. Is he from Tennessee? I feel like he probably is. But there's a chance. I'm not gonna guess Chris Stapleton. Or maybe I don't know, but I don't know what else I would guess, and I need to be quick, or else you're not gonna get your DQ. You know what? I'll just guess Chris Stapleton.
No.
I didn't think so.
All right. Whew. So this is gonna give you
I'm pretty sure he's from Tennessee.
This is gonna give you a good timeline, and I will also give you gender because those first two clues kind of didn't give you a whole lot at all. So this artist once sold merch for Garth Brooks. That was this artist's job because their spouse was Garth Brooks' production manager on tour. And at the time, this artist was
hold
waiting
on.
tables. Oh, do you know that?
Maybe. Well, no, we'll just keep going.
Eventually got a job on tour so they could travel with their spouse. And Garth Brooks was so impressed by this person's personality and musical talent, he asked her, it is a woman, if she wanted to be the opening act for him on tour, and from there, her career took off.
I think I've heard this before, but like I can't place a name.
You can't remember who it is?
Yeah, but it's a female.
Uh-oh.
It's what I'm hearing. Is this person relatively
90s? You're thinking...
The thing is, Garth's been around for a decent amount of time. So, like, when was this person their merch person? I don't even know. I'm
90s.
struggling.
Think 90s. There can't be too many names.
Well, it's not Carrie Underwood. Not that I thought it was her, but it's not her. No. I almost just said Ariba. That can't be it. I don't think it's Reba. Now I'm kind of Miranda's too
for an answer.
Miranda's too young, right? Right, Evan? Miranda's too young? No.
I don't know.
This is maybe a stupid guess, but I'm gonna go with Reba.
No.
Yeah.
It was Martina McBride.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Martina McBride is like not even in my brain. Like I don't know a song.
I don't know crazy amounts about her.
Like I know I've heard of Martina McBride, but like I was probably never gonna get that one. I will say for a brief moment at the beginning I was like maybe Ashley McBride. So I would have had the last name right. If I guessed that.
I would have given you half points. Wow. This has been episode 48 of Waves on the Shore. We talked about quite a bit of stuff. You got some bonus content.
We talked about
you got
toes
my
and
things and all these things. But unfortunately, now I have to run because
I'm not gonna let the podcast end because I don't want Evan to get Dairy Queen. So.
Well, I actually have the stop recording button. So you can continue recording your audio by all means, but the video is going to cut out right now. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Waves on the Shore. If you feel so inclined, be sure to leave a comment below. And if you'd like to connect with us personally, you can find both of us on Instagram at The Waves on the Shore, and our personal accounts, myself, Evan, at The Overshore, and Jaron at JepWOTS. JEPWOTS. I'm telling you, man. Bro's so whack. Anyways, I'll get out of your ear now. You do yourself a favor and have a fantastic rest of your day.